Cat 250 repeater.
Cat 4NFB monitoring 06. Huh. Well, what's this thing? Script. Review. Huh, well, we haven't had one of those in a long time. So let's get right into this. So today I'm doing a review on sorry about that. On the Motorola EX560XLS. This review does kind of go for all of the EX series radios, the 500, the 560XLS, and the 600XLS. I believe it is the EX600XLS. I wanted 600XLS, but anyways. So these are commercial radios, not business. They're professional series or commercial radios. Okay. These are kind of in the. I believe these are in the HT series as well. Like these go along with the HT series professional radios or something like that. I believe these do seem to go with the HT series because the EX500 is basically just a really small HT 750. The 600 XLS, the 500 XLS is like an HT 1250 with the limited keypad, and then the EX600 XLS is like a 1250 with the full keypad. Anyways, so let's get started. This radio, zoom out. Sorry for the loud zooming noises. The most common attachments you'll see for this radio is the rapid charger, the speaker mic, the stock rubber ducky antenna, and the very expensive battery. Let me set that out of the way. So we'll go over each of these items. This is the charger. It is, I guess it's an intelligent charger in a way because it can tell you different things. Come on, focus. Tell you a bunch of different stuff. Yep. And then there's also this standard SMA female rubber ducky antenna, a 7.2 volt battery. It does fit in the charger by itself, so you can charge it by itself if you want. Then you got the radio itself. Now, let's just put this radio together real quick. Here's the radio itself. And to install any accessory, such as the speaker mic, it pushes in on this side, see, like that, and then you have a screw. Some actually have like twists that you can twist with your fingers, but this one comes with a screw head that's a bit too big for a flathead screwdriver. I found a dime or a nickel works really well. Dimes and quarters don't work the best. Nickels and pennies work the best with it. Alright, so let's go on to what this radio is, and yeah. So what is this radio? This radio is a commercial radio which has many features, which will be explained in a little bit. An extreme rugged design, but is the radio worth it? Stay tuned to the end of the video to find out. So where can you find these radios? These radios have been discontinued for Motorola and Motorola authorized vendors for quite a while now. I'm not sure of the original release date, but looking at software versions, the CPS dates back to at least 2008. I got this off of eBay. That's probably where you're gonna find them. But you might want to stick. You might want to watch the rest of this video before you go, hey, I want to buy one of these little things. Anyways, yeah, you can usually just find them online. I believe a lot of government auctions, you probably won't find this exact model, but you'll probably find other EX500s or other Motorola radios. A lot of this video can be translated to other other commercial and public safety Motorola radios. Not the specifications, but the some of the cons about this radio can be translated between a bunch of different Motorola radios. That is just because they are a big investment, but we'll get onto that in a second. What market were these radios designed for? These radios were designed for the professional, not business market. This includes COs, correctional officers, public service, and other non-mission critical communications. Even though it has a lot of mission critical signaling formats and stuff, it is not designed for things like a fire department or police department to use. You can see these being used by public service workers, like people who work around the town or something, school bus, maybe schools could use this. That's a little bit out of its range for schools. Maybe school security officers could use this. Security officers, correctional officers, like prison people can use these. It's not they're not meant to be gone into a fire or meant to be used with get shot at and crap. These are still really good radios, even though they have a lot of the same features as those radios. They're just not designed to be to be as efficiently used as the other radios. Like with fire department radios, there's a reason why they're not this small. Motorola has been making radios this small, but the reason why fire department radios are tall and stuff is so that way fire department or firefighters and stuff, they have big gloves on. They need to be able to grab it. They have big buttons and big knobs and everything. So this thing, the knobs are actually not bad on this, but they're so small to grab onto. So if you imagine wearing big gloves, and this radio just isn't designed for that type of work environment. Anyways, let's go over some specifications of this radio. This radio can encode and decode PL and DPL tones. It can encode and decode MDC 1200, Quick Call 2, and DTMF. It can also do 4 to 5 watts output. That depends on what band. I believe VHF it does 5 watts, UHF it does 4 watts. I'm not 100% sure on that. I don't remember. It comes in 2 varieties. It might come in more, but I know for a fact it comes in VHF and UHF. But it might come in 800 megahertz. Alright, excuse the dog clunking sounds. But let's get back to where I left off. Alright. So it comes in VHF and UHF. It might come in 800 megahertz, but I'm not sure. I didn't feel like searching that up. It can hold up to 160 channels and has a backlit LCD display. Which if I turn it on, you'll see. Yep. Try to focus at it again. There we are. There we are. And that's some really smooth autofocus. Anyways, it has a limited keypad. The 600 XLS has a full-size keypad, which I don't know how they managed to scrunch a full-size keypad into this little tiny area here. Anyways, there is a programmable emergency button.
The time is 2:22 p.m.
That was the East River repeater ID. It has a programmable emergency button and programmable side buttons. It's IP67 certified. You can see there on the bottom. That means it is 100% dust resistant and it's submergible up to 30 minutes. Now, one thing about buying these secondhand is I wouldn't trust IP67 certified because I don't know if somebody's been in this radio. Because if somebody's been inside of this radio, they could have damaged the seals, and then it's not submersible anymore. That green mark means it was tested at the factory, I believe, that it's been certified. But I'm afraid that if you buy one of these secondhand, somebody might have opened it up and tried to do something inside and could have broken a seal or something. Anyways. It does LTR trunking and has built-in microphone compression, and it might have automatic gain control. I'm not sure. Can't remember. What are some pros of this radio? Well, here's some of my favorite features. It's IP67 certified. It is clunky. Alright, this thing is clunky. Look. This is one sturdy knob. All this is really clunky. It's all just speaker sounds good. It's just really nice, and this battery clip, it's really just clicks in there, and with the charger, it really just, I don't know. But the Motorola equipment's always like that. It does a lot of public safety and commercial signaling features like MDC 1200, quick call, DTMF, all that stuff. This stock rubber ducky antenna beats my Nagoya 771, which is a very common HT antenna. It beats it by a long shot. So, you know, I mean, and I'm not saying that Nagoya is a bad antenna. The Nagoya is a wonderful antenna, and this little tiny rubber ducky beats it. So, Motorola antennas are just that. I mean, and that makes sense because they're designed to be extremely small. So that way, you know, if somebody has this on their back or whatever, they don't want a big giant, like 2 foot long antenna whacking them every 2 seconds. So I mean, anyways, the other thing though is with it being so small, even though it works really well, it on the lower VHF bands, like this radio can go all the way down to 136 megahertz. This antenna seems to work better at the higher VHF frequencies. Like it works really good on 149, which is the East River repeater, and it works pretty good on Windmill Gap, but it doesn't work as well. Which is like a few megahertz lower. It's like 146. But and maybe that was just my testing and stuff. Just whatever. That's just what I seem to figure out. But I mean, it's still a really good antenna. Anyways, it also has a great speaker mic. This speaker mic is wonderful, and the clip is really nice. You don't have to worry about strain. As one of these, it has a headphone jack on it. And you can buy them with an emergency button and some with a channel selector. Anyways, and this is the PMMN 4022A model. I don't know if it'll focus. Whatever. Anyways, so yeah, it's a really good speaker mic. The backlit LCD is so nice. It's extremely nice. This thing is super customizable, like extremely customizable. You can change the channel names, you can change the way the scan lists operate, you can add a whole bunch of different signalings, like you can change all the quick call, all the MDC, you can change all the tones, you can change the volume levels. One thing that I'm going to nag about is, and there's got to be a way to do this, I just can't find it in the CPS software. That is, there's a minimum volume. See, that's as far as it will go without turning off the radio, okay? And it still makes noise, alright? If I try to monitor NOAA. Oops.
Light and variable winds.
See, that's volume all the way down. Anyways. So, that's a nag. But, it's extremely small. I really like that. It has a built-in real-time clock with alarm features. It can handle up to 160 channels. I've never had to reach that maximum ever, but it's really cool they can do that. And I mean, that is like an extreme because these are single band. You'll realize in a second what I mean by that. You shouldn't need 160 VHF channels. All right. Anyways. Yeah, it has a built-in real-time clock with an alarm feature, so it can set it off. I have it set to go off at 6:50 every day. Anyways, 6:50 p.m. that is. So there's also it also does LTR trunking, which I don't need, but I mean it's cool that it does it. It's very small, like I said. It has great transmit and receive audio, like seriously super good. Like transmit and receive. Oh, somebody keyed up the repeater. Like extremely good transmit and receive quality. It has X-Pand compression, like microphone compression. The emergency button, it's really cool to have an emergency button that's actually an emergency button. There's a phone book, which I can show that if I push this button. Oh, that's a selective call, I'm sorry. Oh, never mind, doesn't want to go. Oh, wrong channel. So then if I had contacts in the phone, you could go through them or whatever. And yeah, you go through them and it would set out DTMF tones. It's meant for hot patching, which is really cool. Auto patching. If I get my repeater back up and going, I'm probably going to, and I can find it on a if I want my repeater on a VHF set. It's on a UHF set, but I mean, you know, whatever. I'm gonna try to host a bunch of repeaters. Like I want the VHF one. I mean, I've got the UHF one I'm working on, and then soon I'm gonna have an 800. Well, not soon, but I'm gonna try to get an 800 megahertz one with MDC capabilities. Yeah. Anyways, or 900 megahertz. I'm gonna try to get a 900 megahertz repeater because 800 is expensive to do because you have to buy a business band license, which is like $500 for one with a repeat, like $600 for one with a repeater. Anyways, you have the emergency button, programmable buttons. All these P1, P2, P3, 2 side buttons, the emergency button on top. They're all programmable to do anything you want, really. Well, not anything, but I mean you could do a lot of crap. Yeah, it has the phone book, and you can get these for a pretty okay price. And repeater just ID'd. Let me turn up the volume a little bit. Anyways, let's go over some cons of this radio. And these are some of the things that really bother me and I don't really like about this radio. It's hard to find licensing or buy licensing for the CPS software. And I'm not going to get into the programming of it or the CPS because it's extremely, it's very, I'll talk about that later. It's just, there's some cons about that. It's hard to find the correct programming cables online for a good price. I'm not 100% sure about that. I don't own a programming cable. I made a programming cable, alright? And I don't know about that because, well, I just read a few, like, reviews online. It's like, hey, this is the wrong cable. It's not what it's advertised. I guess that's more of be careful on what you buy online, but I mean, you can find these cables. I just don't know if they're worth it or not. I've never bought one. But, they're single band. They're not dual band. You can either buy it in VHF, UHF, or maybe 800 megahertz. I don't know if they make them in 800 megahertz. But I mean, you can only buy them in one band. And for like business reasons, that's fine because you just have a bunch of the same radios, right? But for like amateur use, we want to be able to use multiple bands. So that kind of sucks that it's a single band. Then it's hard to make custom accessories because of this weatherproof jack here. You can't find these. I wish you could find, unless I'm just not looking at the right place. I wish you could buy these connectors themselves, but I just can't find a place to buy them. Anyways, technical information is very limited. I can't seem to find a way to find any, like, service manuals or anything. You can find the user manual, and it's not that much of a help. I think I even got one of those, portals, for the Motorola website, like an account where you can, like, go in and, like, do a bunch of... And you could do a bunch of, like, go through all the manuals and everything, but, that's a big hassle that didn't go through. I don't know, maybe the manuals are on that. That was a big hassle, and it still hasn't let me log in. So, it's also hard to find replacement batteries for a good price. I've seen these batteries online, and they're usually around $60, $70, even $80 for these little batteries, when you can pretty much buy their whole entire radio for that much money. So, I mean, you know. Then, it also requires the CPS to program. You can't do any front access programming. There is actually a cool thing where you have to enter a code on startup to use it or whatever, which is interesting. Now here's a point where it would where the video is gonna cut to the signaling features. So roll the clip. All right, let's go over its MDC 1200 capabilities. It can do MDC ID. Latency ID 5456. It can do selective call, which you will see in a second here. Or you'll hear it, rather. There you go with the musical tone. It says call received. You can do call alert, which will pretty much do the same thing. There's call alert. And finally, it can do stun and revive, which means it will kill the radio if it was stolen or something. Now you can see it's turned off and it acknowledged back. And now we'll revive it. You can hear the MDC tones in the background and you'll hear it turn on. So yeah, it can also encode or decode Quick Call 2 as well as DTMF. I don't have a demo for the DTMF, but it can still decode it and encode it. Now in this video clip, I only showed the decoding of Quick Call and the decoding of MDC, but it can do encoding as well. Anyways, alright, so now let's go on to programming. I can't show how to program it, since the CPS is full of legalities. Just know it's a pain. But this radio is extremely customizable, like I said. And I believe pretty much all the EX series radios are. So I can't really go over programming because, you know, the whole CPS crap that I don't want to take any chances with. And finally, is this radio a good buy for the average ham? Well, in all honesty, no. These radios are really cool and they're really awesome, but their cons make it really hard to get into the commercial two-way radio hobby. It could be an extremely big investment to get these radios up and going, and I was lucky to get this one for the price I got it with all of its accessories. So really, these radios, they're not. I wouldn't say they're worth it. If you're not prepared to spend a lot of money, and you don't, like, if you're just looking for another handheld to carry you around, don't buy it. If you're looking for something to go, like, I don't know, hiking with and in the rain and crap, and, you know, or like four-wheeling and you're wanting to take ham radios, these are pretty cool, especially with the MDC capabilities, right? The fact that they're also MERS certified, because I believe they are, because when you first factory reset it, it just says channel 1 and that's MERS channel 5. So, I mean, yeah. So, these radios are MERS certified and they can do MDC and, you know, they're pretty cool, right? But, I mean, if you're just looking for another HT to carry around with you, right, these probably aren't what you want, okay? But if you're like me, and you want another HT to carry around, you want it to be rugged, which the ruggedness, I don't plan on doing anything where it's going to need to be that rugged, but I mean, whatever, I mean, it's cool to have them. I wanted it more for the signaling capabilities. The Quick Call 2, it's really nice, and the fact that I could put it in my backpack when I go to school and have this concealed with me and nobody knows that I have it, and not worry about me dropping my backpack and the radio breaking or anything like that or getting wet. These are really nice for that. But I mean, really, they're not worth it. I mean, they're cool, but they're not worth it unless you're prepared to do what it takes to get these things running and you plan to use it to its fullest, you know, extent. Really, if you don't plan on using the MDC, you don't plan on using the Quick Call, you don't plan on using the DTMF or anything like that, and you just want another radio to play around with, these aren't for you, really. I mean, and I'm not just saying that just so you don't waste your money on it. I'm also saying that since these radios are discontinued, the more that people who don't want them buy them, then the people like me who actually do want them, who have an actual use and plan to use them and, you know, treat them like they're meant, you know, like use them to their fullest extent, right? Then they're going to be harder and harder for us to find, right? For people who like to get into these radios. So if you're just looking for another HT, stay away from this. Stay away from most Motorola radios. I mean, unless you know what to search up, because there's a lot of Motorola radios that don't have any of these special signaling features. And you know, if you're looking for another rugged radio, then get one of those. But I mean, if you're looking for a rugged radio and you don't plan on using any of the signaling features, then look for the Motorola radios that don't have them. And I mean, that's kind of hard to do, but I mean, you're saving the the really nice radios that have all the really, good signaling features and all that crap for the people who actually need to use those. So, anyways, that's it, I guess. That's the end of it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next. Alright, well, sorry about that. For whatever reason, the camera decided to die at the end there. Not the battery died, just stopped recording. But, anyways, I just wanted to say that, thank you guys for watching this video, and, yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed it. Please leave comments, like, and subscribe, and share it around. I'd like to get this to be a pretty big channel and, do actually good videos. Hopefully I'll have, content being uploaded soon, because, with this whole coronavirus thing, our school system has closed down again. Isn't that great? It's closed down for 2 weeks, so I should have time to make plenty of videos. Watch me probably just upload like 2, but that's not the point. The point is that I tried, or I'll have time to try. So, anyways, I hope you enjoyed that video. Please like, share, and subscribe, and it really helps out the channel. 73s, see y'all later.